So this video is going to be a little bit different than my previous videos, as I just recently passed my 1-year anniversary of posting landscape photography videos on October 28th. And October 28th last year is the first time I posted a landscape photography video. I'll link to it in the comments. It's pretty rough, and looking back, it was only like a 2.5, 3-minute video. I've made lots of improvements to audio, my video camera, to sort of simplify the whole process out in the field. And I'm real happy with that progress. I look forward to continuing to progress in my video editing skills and make them more interesting and dynamic as we go. So like I said, don't laugh too much at that first video. The important thing is to get out there and get started, which I did. And today we're gonna do just a little bit of behind the scenes of the YouTube channel. I know on YouTube channels that I watch, I like to see those behind the scenes videos sometimes, whether it be talking about the money aspect of it, or whether it just be what it's like to create a YouTube channel and maintain a YouTube channel over time. There's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes, and I always sort of like that, pull the fourth wall out and sort of see what is behind the scenes. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about a couple of my high-performing videos, low-performing videos, a video I think should have done better, and then I'm going to answer the top 3 frequently asked questions I get. But first, I want to thank you, all my viewers who have liked my videos, watched my videos, subscribed to my channel, left comments. All of those things are great, and it really helps make the YouTube journey worth it. It helps me know that people are out there watching the content, enjoying the content, wanting to see future content. That's all great, and as a creator, those are really awesome things to do to help support your creator, not only just from getting to a monetization standpoint on YouTube, but also making everything feel worthwhile. So I appreciate all that time you're doing that. I try to respond to every single comment that I do get on my videos. I like to engage. If you're taking the time out of your day to write up a comment, I like to try to respond to that. I'm going to continue to do that for as long as it's humanly possible to keep up with that, because that's one thing I think as a creator it's very important, is to engage with the audience. So keep leaving those comments, keep hitting that like button, tell your friends about it, and subscribe. But I really want to thank you, the viewers, for making this journey so much fun so far. So one of the things I wanted to do in this review was take a look at some of the videos I've posted over the course of the past year. And I want to focus on 3 videos: the worst performing video, the best performing video, and a video I think more people should have watched because they would have found it enjoyable. So let's dive in on the worst performing video that I've done on the channel. And I sort of weighted this a little bit. I have a video that's slightly less performing, but it's only been posted for about, a month and a half. So I sort of looked over the scope of the whole year and what doesn't have a lot of likes and what hasn't really performed well and what actually had some dislikes on it as well. So that video was how not to photograph a sunset. And I recorded that video just outside of Tucson, Arizona last December, I want to say is when it was recorded. It might have gotten posted in January. And the topic of that video was how not to photograph a sunset. And essentially what it was I went out, I left the house late, I got to the area late, I got stuck in a traffic jam, and I was rushed the whole time. And so to me, that was a case of not properly planning. I didn't even really have a great spot scouted out. I had to go to one of my old standby spots. And when you're making those long treks across the country, it's sort of like disappointing and discouraging to get out there and, because of lack of planning, not walk away with anything spectacular or stunning or anything like that. So that was one of my worst performing videos. And I wish more people had watched it, obviously, but I think it could have been valuable to emphasize the value of planning when you go out in photography. You don't have to plan every shoot, but man, when you make those long distance treks and journeys, a little bit of planning will help you walk away with better photos. I don't think good photos are necessarily random. It can happen, but I think a little bit of planning and thought can help. But that was my worst performing video over the course of the year, is how not to photograph a sunset, which centered around planning, or rather thereof, the lack of planning for an outing. Now moving over to my best performing video, and this one sort of surprised me, and it's sort of weird because I've had 2 of these video types that have done really well. And the best performing video was my 1 lens challenge with the Panasonic GX85. So for those that follow the channel know, I'm primarily a Nikon shooter. That's what my daily bread and butter cameras are. That's what I do when I'm going out seriously. However, I do have a travel camera setup, which is a Panasonic GX85, which is a micro 4/3 camera, packs down super small, fits in a tiny pack, and it's really great for when landscape photography isn't the primary purpose of the trip, because it packs down so small and is lightweight. So I've done a few videos on my setup, and it's essentially a Panasonic GX85. I've got 3 lenses, it fits into a tiny bag, And so that video was when I took my Panasonic GX85 out with a 25mm lens and shot the whole day with just that lens. I didn't do any swaps. It was a prime lens, so I had no zoom. I had to work with my feet and went down to a region called Hocking Hills, which is about an hour or so from me and one of my favorite areas to photograph in. Lots of view time, and continues to this day be one of my most popular videos. Like I said, it strikes me as a little unusual because I don't post a ton of Micro Four Thirds content on my channel. I love the cameras. They're great. I mean, the lightweightness of them are awesome. And then the cost of everything to get into Micro Four Thirds is great. And I love it as a travel setup. But what's sort of funny is one of my, I don't know, second or third most favorite video is when I sort of reviewed that setup of how I take out the GX85, what pack I carry it in, how I keep it nice and small, the tripod I use with it. That's also one of my top performing videos. So really, should I be doing more Micro Four Thirds content on this channel? If you follow me because of my occasional Micro Four Thirds content, just let me know in the comments. I'd love to know more. What are you interested in Micro Four Thirds? Are you interested in that specific camera? Are you interested in just a smaller, more compact landscape photography setup? What is it that's drawing you to those channels? Because like I said, those two videos are sort of my top videos, and the majority of the videos on my channel are actually Nikon videos or related to Nikon full frame cameras. So that's my most popular video. And finally, I wanted to touch on a video that I think's been overlooked on the channel that I thought people would like, and it really just hasn't taken off. And I don't know if it's because my thumbnail wasn't great or my title's off or something like that, because that is an important thing as to what gets picked up by YouTube. But back in January of this year, me and a buddy, Alex, we went down to Hocking Hills, which I mentioned earlier, during a snowstorm. And it was like a level 2, level 3 snow emergency down there. The place was near vacant, probably 6 inches of snow on the ground. And we went and hit some of the major waterfalls. It was an amazing winter scenery. We have some cool drone footage in that video. Just a really interesting video, I thought, and it just never really took off. That video has some views and likes, but it just never really took off like I thought it would. I thought it, at the very least, it'd be sort of regionally popular, and then for photographers getting out in the snow and trying to do some photography, they'd like to see some of the behind the scenes. So, and that's a type of content I'd like to see take off, sort of the vlog approach, and I'm still working on building my vlogging skill set. You've seen other trip reports and things I've done, and that is an area, as far as me as a content creator, that I'm working to improve, is to make my more of a trip report vlogging style videos a little more interesting. So I'm still looking at that video, trying to figure out why it missed, but if you're interested in seeing it, I'll link to it in the comments. I think it's worth watching. It's sort of a fun trip. We had a good time, and it's one I sort of wish had performed a little better that didn't. Okay, so let's move into my top 3 frequently asked questions that I get asked as a content creator. And that can be questions from friends in the area, that can be questions on Instagram, YouTube, you know, any place like that. And I've got sort of 3 things that it all boils down to. And the first one is obviously money. Everyone wants to know, how are you doing money-wise on YouTube? And right now, my channel's not monetized. I've passed the hours viewed marker, but I'm still got to get up to my 1,000 subscribers. And I knew coming into this was going to be a marathon. The YouTube, for me, was not to be the primary revenue source for anything. It's a component of my plan and strategy as a landscape photographer to make money off of that effort. But YouTube was not my primary one, and going into it, I knew it was going to be a marathon. There's a lot of great landscape photography channels on YouTube. The competition's high, and it's sort of a crowded, saturated field. With that said, totally glad I started. I'm happy with my growth. I actually did pass my goal that I had for me to for the number of subscribers. I hit the watch hours, which was great. I actually wasn't 100% sure if I would hit that, and I did break the watch hour, so happy on that. So, you know, money-wise, there's not a whole lot to report as far as revenue from the YouTube channel itself. Now, I do make some money off the affiliate links that are down in my descriptions, links to my gear, and anything I might talk about in the video. For folks hitting those affiliate links and clicking through on those, that is awesome. It's greatly appreciated. It's not even enough money to even be worth tracking and charting right now, but it's nice to be able to throw a little bit of money, you know, into an account based off of that. It just sort of shows me I'm heading in the right direction, because over the course of the year, I've watched that affiliate revenue grow a little bit, and it just sort of tells me I am on the right course, that it is, like I thought it was going to be, more of a marathon than a sprint. So on the money front for this year, there's not a whole lot to report from that avenue. Maybe another day I'll look at more of my other streams of revenue that I have as a landscape photographer, but today I'm really just focusing in on the YouTube channel itself. Another question I get asked frequently is, how do I come up with my topics? How do I do it? Do I come up with it on the spur of the moment for the week? Do I have a topic list? And how do I fill that topic list? Well, the answer to that question is yes, I do have a running topic list. I keep track of them in Evernote, and I add to it. I always have Evernote access on my phone or my tablet or my computer. So whenever I get a random thought, I can just toss it on there as a placeholder to be something to think about. Now, as far as where those ideas come from, it can be from comments. So I do watch those comments, and if you're asking a question about something in particular, or it seems like I left something a little vague in a video, that goes onto my topic list. Other things is I participate in several online forums. I sort of watch what's some of the frequently asked questions coming up there. That's also a good place to catch up on trending topics. Is there something controversial happening in the landscape photography world? Is there a new piece of gear coming out that falls into my realm that I might want to go pick up and try? So that's sort of how I keep that running topic list for my YouTube channel. And it does make it a little easier when I'm looking at what I'm going to do, when I plan ahead and figure out what I'm going to do. I can just go to that list, look through the list, find a topic, and go from there. So with that said, if you're interested in seeing something on the YouTube channel, I watch those comments, and I take the comments, put them on the topic list, and I keep that running list. And at some point, I will get around to doing a video on that topic. So the third question I get is, do I get tired of making the content on a weekly basis? And sometimes it is just a little bit of work to get it done. Like you have to put it on the to-do list and make yourself go out and do it. But as a whole, it is really fun. And the little adrenaline rush you get on release day when the video goes live and watching to see how it does is all a great time. And the way I liken it is, even though I'm trying to do my dream, do what I love, and make landscape photography a form of viable income, there's still going to be work associated with that. It doesn't just fall into your lap. It doesn't just happen. You don't just get to go take pictures. There's some element of work to it, whether it be content creation for a YouTube channel, whether it be you're trying to make your money in print sales. There's work associated with all of that. Or even if you're a workshop leader, there's the planning behind it. There's work. The key is that work is leading to something enjoyable. So I enjoy putting out the YouTube videos. It's a lot of fun. Most weeks, it's no problem at all. I would say the greatest stressor is when it's starting to be about Monday or Tuesday, and I'm struggling a little bit with which topic to pull off the list. And then I start to lose even more time, which means it starts to shrink that list of possible topics down even more, because to do a good video on a more in-depth topic takes time. So you need to make sure you get a head start on that in order to have a nice polished video for the Thursday release. So overall, does it feel like work sometimes? Yes, it does. But the majority of time it does not. And when it does feel like work, all you have to do is tell yourself you are driving towards a place where you want to be, immersed in landscape photography, talking about landscape photography, helping people get better at landscape photography, all important things, and it all pays off. And at the end of the day, especially on Thursdays when that video goes live, everything feels great, you're on a high, and it's awesome. So yeah, that's what it feels like to, be putting out a video once a week on YouTube. So that's it. That's my year in review. If you watch it all this way, like I said, I know these behind the scenes aren't everything's thing. I enjoy them when I see other YouTubers do them. I sort of enjoy that behind the scenes, what's going on, what's actually look like back there. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, thank you for watching. I appreciate all my views. I appreciate my likes. I appreciate my subscribes. I appreciate my comments. So again, super appreciative of all that. It really helps make this journey in the YouTube world that much more fulfilling. So again, thank you for sticking with me, and I'm looking forward to the year ahead and excited to see what it brings. So if you've got a question I didn't answer, there's sort of a high-level overview, be sure to leave it in the comments. I'm always open to topic ideas, questions about landscape photography in general, and this is a great video to post questions about my actual YouTube creation process. Happy to answer those questions. Just drop them in the comments below, and I'll get to them and give you some answers. And remember, hit that like button, and if you want to see future landscape photography content from me, including tips, tricks, behind the scenes, mini gear reviews, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and thank you for watching.